Cooper Mays and James Pearce named Phil Steele All-Americans. Now, you're not going to see us go crazy on these All-American lists with the exception of AP and coaches, which will come right before the year, but we do respect Phil a lot, and we'll have him on the show. So, Cooper Mays and James Pearce, which of the two has the biggest impact, bigger impact, I should say, on the Vols season this year?
Oh, that one's not even close. That one's Cooper Mays. Cooper Mays is the anchor to make the entire offense go. Now,
well, I tell you what, can we turn that into 4 downs? Because you're going in a different direction than I thought. Cooper, what should people do?
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
Let's go 4 downs right now. Brought to you by Dynasty Bulls and Spas.
4 Downs brought to you by Dynasty Spas, the most comfortable spas made in the United States of America, right here in East Tennessee. Drop in for the all-new showroom in Athens. Dynasty Spas, perfect for all 4 seasons. 4 Downs, presented by Off the Hook Sports.
All right, so we got the first down out of the way.
Coop here. First down.
And the question was, who will have the bigger impact, Cooper Mays or James Pearce, named Phil Steele All-Americans? You took Cooper. I will too. I'm going to take the safe way out. But I'm going to ask you this.
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
Is it good or bad if it's James Pearce, if he has a bigger impact than Cooper Mays?
Is it bad for James Pearce if he has a bigger impact than
is
Cooper
it
Mays?
good or bad for Tennessee if James Pearce has a bigger impact than Cooper Mays this upcoming season?
It's bad for Tennessee because, again, other edge rushers can have the impact. If Cooper Mays doesn't have the biggest impact, that means he probably didn't play or didn't play fully healthy. And Tennessee doesn't have an answer on the interior of the offensive line if Cooper Mays is not out there.
Okay, totally disagree with you. There's not another guy like James Pearce on the roster. I'm not saying that they would be better or worse necessarily, but they actually could be better. I don't think Bison Lang's quite ready, but I think he's close. If he had to go, I'm not sure they would go that direction yet, but I think he's fairly close. I think they would probably go along a hodgepodge at center like they did last year. But I would tell you that whoever the quarterback is, which is obviously Nico, but last year we wondered a little bit, he'll be better suited to handle the fronts than Joe Milton was in Gainesville. I think if James Pearce has a monster season and Cooper Mays has a good season, Tennessee is undefeated and wins the national title. So I'm going to say in my scenario that Tennessee can be better with a better Pearce than Mays.
James Pearce is a rare talent, but you say Bison Lang is close, but I watched Tennessee in 2021 when Cooper Mays played banged up. I watched him last year when he.
I didn't say real close, did I?
You said close.
I didn't say real close, though.
No, you said Bison Lang is close to getting it right, I guess. But Cooper Mays is a unique talent. Now, I say this. I want to point this out here, though, quite honestly.
Did you said Cooper Mays is a unique talent? Did you mean James Pearce or Cooper?
James Pearce is a unique talent. Cooper Mays is a unique talent, too, in the sense of how well he understands this offense and how smart of a player he is. Now, I want to point this out because this is a shocking
leverage.
Yes, leverage. Now, I say all this knowing that, like, in terms of who has more All-American potential, that's clearly James Pearce because James Pearce is going to be much better. Could be the best player at his position. I don't know if Cooper's the best center in college football, but he's more valuable to Tennessee specifically for what Tennessee's trying to do. So I will tell you this, Dave. I was a little shocked that Cooper Mays made the All-American list. And that's
too, but I was happy because I think Phil Steele, and again, I'm giving him love not because he's giving love to one of our guys, but I think he does a really good job. And Cooper Mays, I mean, he's going to be, if you're first team all SEC center, easy for me to say, if you're first team all SEC center, you should be first, second, or third team All-American, shouldn't you?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and that would be a huge win for Cooper Mays to get that, and for Tennessee if Cooper Mays gets there. So, and look, Phil Steele has, much to the chagrin of Tennessee, been very accurate with his predictions related to Tennessee over the past 15, 20 years, probably more than any other magazine out there. Phil Steele, just for those who don't know, I'm just going to do a quick throwback. The 2005 team that everybody had number 3 or number 2 in the nation entering the year, Phil Steele had them finishing third in the East alone, and he said they were massively overrated. And boy, did he nail that one, Dave.
Yes. Phil Steele naming James Pearce as an All-American was kind of a simple thing. If he's not an All-American by the end of the year, if he's just an All-SEC player, if he's a second-team All-SEC player, is that disappointment? I guess given the level, I would ask you this question, Caleb. No awards, All-American. Now, let's take injury out of it. All-SEC, All-American, first-team All-American. At what level do you think he needs to perform at to live up to his potential? I hate to say All-American or bust, but he is about that gifted where I think it's All-American or bust.
I can't go there. And the reason I can't go there is, honestly, Dave, that is one position, defensive end, where I'll comment on the defensive line in general, where it's very easy to neutralize a player. You can just run the other way. And I mean, how many times have we seen players that had a ton of hype on the defensive line coming into a year, and they had a major drop off that year because teams just avoided them? And I mean, one example I can give you is, do you remember Jadeveon Clowney after the 2012 season? Remember, he was the biggest thing out going into 2013 and had the biggest drop off ever. But guess what? South Carolina still had its best season in school history that year under Spurrier because teams were going out of their way to avoid Clowney.
Okay, well, I like the Clowney comparison because you did run at Clowney. I think they'll run at James Pearce. I don't think they'll run away from him because he's a speed guy. Will Anderson would be the example to me of a guy that I don't know whether you run away from him or towards him. And he may have had a little bit of a disappointing last season to some people, but I didn't think so because I thought he was incredible against the run. So I think it's going to be run at James Pearce. And you bring up the Jadeveon Clowney comparison. I think that's pretty apt.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that one in particular, and I've been going back in Tennessee history, but I hadn't really gone back in just SEC history. They remind me a lot of each other.
No, you're right. I think they're very similar. And if you remember, Clowney played up on the line in college. He became a linebacker in the NFL over time, but he started playing up on the line. And yeah, James Pearce is very similar to Clowney in that regard. I mean, this is just, you're talking about, I mean, in both instances, you're talking about just straight raw talent, right? More than you could see anywhere else.
Like almost you could not know how to play football and step on there and be okay.
Almost like you could not even practice that hard.
Like you've never even seen a football, but you could show up and probably get to the quarterback. Those are those type of guys, right?
Yeah,
now,
exactly. And edge rusher is the one position where you could do that.
Somebody pointed out on our Sports Treasures message board that Anderson didn't make a tackle against the Vols. No, he didn't, but he was going against a first rounder as well by the name of Darnell Wright. Sports Treasures carrying over 5 million sports treasures and so much more. Follow on Facebook for the best sports memorabilia daily updates. Sports Treasures TN. That's Sports Treasures TN. Sports Treasures. We absolutely love them. And we will be giving away our Tony Vitello autographed baseball today. We will have the drawing today. So if you haven't signed up, we want you to do that. If you can go ahead and put the link to the Patreon page in the message board, I would greatly appreciate it, Caleb. And let me give you an update on a couple of poll questions that I threw out there that you have taken advantage of. Dylan says Clowney was a one-play wonder. If he doesn't go unblocked against Michigan, nobody would have blown him up to that level.
That is not true.
I don't know that he's a one-hit wonder. I will say this. I had serious questions about his feet. And if I knew that, then everybody should have known that. He had foot problems headed into the NFL. You don't want that. All right. Is there an anti-Tennessee bias? Anti-Tennessee anti-bias is apparently had a typo there. Yes, 2022 is still a factor. 62% no. Quit being sensitive. 8% no. Vols are being beloved. But this poll question is even a little bit more shocking. Are the Diamond Vols already a success? Yes, 2 wins. No, got to win it all. 2 wins gets 51%. 36% to got to win it all. No, have to win one more. 11%. Are the Diamond Vols already a success? To be a success in the edge rushing position, Tennessee will need other players. So if it's not Pearce, who do you like most out of that group? Tyler Barron is gone. That would probably be the easy answer, or would it, Caleb?
Well, I mean, there's that's where I'm at with it. Is there's a ton of elite edge rushers that are rising stars here. I mean, you could talk about David Hobbs, Shandavian Bradley, Jordan Ross. I mean, are we to believe that none of those? I mean, all of these guys are highly touted recruits, and all of them I think could easily fill the void that Tyler Barron left. I'm just going to be honest. So Joshua Josephs, that's the one I forgot. Joshua Josephs is a budding star. So I think, look, is James Pearce a unique talent? Yes. At the same time, now this is to his credit, James Pearce is so irreplaceable because he's so uniquely gifted. But I think like Tennessee's hurting at edge rusher. It's almost like if you have like a ton of elite receivers, but then you got Randy Moss too. It's like if you lose Randy Moss, you could probably replace him, but it's like he's so talented, he's so rare of an athlete that you can't just replace him.
I wouldn't rule out Tyree West either. And I'm going to throw, since we got some names, Caleb Herring and Jason Jenkins' name out there, Tyree Weathersby as well. You mentioned some other names. But I tell you what, I think their MVP at edge rusher is. It's Elijah Simmons, Omar Norman Lott, guys that provide a push in the middle that are going to help you have more opportunities on the edge. So roundabout, I'm going to agree with you. I think that Cooper has the bigger impact. Our message board was very astute, as they always are, and mentioned that it will probably be less noticeable. Now that is true, but I think that I think Tennessee will have someone that can fill in and, let's say, be a B player, whereas James Pearce is probably an A+ player. You want the A+ player, but I'll give it to you. Coop's the bigger impact because I don't feel as good about his backups, which would be Bison Lang, or however they would hodgepodge shift it around, as I do James Pearce's backups. So that's my reasoning. Your reasoning is what, Florida last year?
Yeah, my reasoning is Florida last year. That's literally it. And also Cooper Mays played 2021 banged up. And Tennessee, they were 7-6, but they had a big problem. Hendon Hooker had a big problem with avoiding sacks. And
Elias says, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Caleb. My bad.
No, I was going to, yeah, that's the difference. Hendon Hooker, he looked a lot better in 2022. And at first I thought he had matured a lot and just got better with his pocket presence. I'm not so sure Hendon Hooker's pocket presence was that great, Dave. I think Cooper Mays was just that crucial.
I didn't think his pocket presence was great. I thought it was good. I thought it was adequate. Elias
it was horrible in 2021, though.
Oh, yeah. Elias, all that talk about raw talent and never seeing a football field reminds me of the hubbub around Emmanuel Okoye. And let's be fair, the guy's barely played football, and he's coming from Europe, so it could take some time. Nobody thought he was going to have an impact. I didn't think he'd have an impact in his first 2 years. Trust me, I've been down this road with junior college guys. Maybe they're not those NFL Europe guys, but I've been down this road before. It takes some time to play with the big boys, especially you can say, hey, you're playing against grown men in this European league. It's grown men that don't play football a lot.